They ain't gonna do that. They're gonna put up a Starbucks. 2 big Starbucks. Because Starbucks wait for some stuff to fall. The whole house closed, put a Starbucks up. 2 big old Starbucks. They're gonna make all the money. You know y'all love Starbucks. White folks love it. Coffee, latte, mate, hot, tate. Uli say, I've left 12. They love all that shit. It's $1,000 a cup. Y'all don't care. They put crack in that coffee. That's why you keep going back. Starbucks open at 10. You there at 6 o'clock. Latte, $1,000 a cup. Problem, no problem. White folks line up around the block. Starbucks. I know how to make white folks stop going to Starbucks tomorrow morning. 6 o'clock news. Niggas have just bought Starbucks. They'll stop going, I'm not going to that goddamn Starbucks. I like my coffee black, but not that damn black.
Thanks for listening to tonight's episode. To this hump day evening episode. We appreciate it, y'all. Oh, and shout out Poland. New Poland listeners. We appreciate y'all. We're worldwide, y'all.
Clouds end up like the purplest rain. They say patience is the virtue to gain. Fuck it, I guess I died when my brother died. Cause to tell you the truth, I feel like I'm the curse in the game. My vision's blurred, dreams are shattered, my heart is broke. Pain so deep I find it hard to cope. Missing your smiles, missing your style. I figured I'm the next one there so we can kick it a while. But your name lives on, the sun still shine. Every time your baby mom lift up your child, I guess I gotta switch my angle now. Take a positive look, hit a blunt, my little brothers with the angels now. Some of us fall and some of us fly, but at the end of the book, baby, all of us die. Word, my niggas. There's my brother. I can smile, cause I know we right next to Allah, right next to the prophets and the soldiers that died, and all the angels in the heaven that behold in the sky. There's my brother. I can cry, but in fact I can't hug him no more. But my tears go to heaven, and I know this nigga feel me. Even good thing is he ain't got to worry no more. I said.
Crime time, baby.
Yeah.
Yep. You know who's getting it today? The bad whites.
What they do now?
Alright. This is what they're doing. So this Jamie Shalna, how you pronounce that, baby?
Shalna? Yeah, sure.
Charlie, you see this fella?
He's like, is that food? No, if not,
Charlie,
I'm not
this guy you might want to hide from after I read this story, okay? So get a good look at this fella. White fella. All right, so here's what he's doing out here. This Jamie Shalna with an N, 45, was arrested for raping a 14-year-old girl in Rome, New York. So, 43-year-old, here's another one. A 43-year-old DJ raped and groomed a 14-year-old student and had fathered a child with her. Kirk Wilding, a local DJ known for his charm on air, has been convicted for raping and grooming a 14-year-old student and fathering her child. The child rapist threatened the 14-year-old... Hold on. The child rapist threatened the 14-year-old victim as his secret girlfriend over a 6-month period after earlier taking her mother out on dates. The father of the two ignored a police notice warning him to keep away from her and instead repeatedly met up, falsely claiming their friendship was platonic. Wilding was arrested after a witness at a house party caught him raping the 14-year-old. Oh, no. The girl initially refused to make a complaint against Wilding, but last May told police that he had groomed her. Now 15, she gave birth to his son last month. Oh, my goodness. How many more rapists are hiding behind smiles and microphones? So this dude was an on-air personality. Wow. How'd you like to run into that guy at 2 o'clock in the morning coming into the building?
Right.
DJ, 43, who groomed 14-year-old schoolgirl and fathered the child with her after sexually abusing her over 6 months, is jailed for 11 years. That's all he got was 11 years?
Wait. Oh, shit.
Damn.
Shit. I wasn't paying attention. Shit.
Okay, and then I got one more here for y'all. Check this one out. So this Dylan Landry, 26, of Denham Springs, doesn't say what state, Denham Springs,
Okay.
charging him with 95 counts of raping an animal. Oh, no. Dylan was charged with 95 counts of raping animals. He was previously charged in January of 2024 with 1 count of raping an animal, engaging in abuse, and 8 counts... Oh, my God. And 8 counts of raping an animal. This is out of Livingston Parish, Louisiana.
It's really gross.
It is. Landry's wife, Ashley Brady. Well, you know what, baby? They got to stop doing this stuff.
Yeah.
You know? Landry's wife, Ashley Brady, was also arrested in January 2024 for obstruction of justice related to this investigation, according to the sheriff's office. Yeah, we got to save our animals out here.
Mm-hmm.
So I got this video. Let's see.
95 extra counts of having videos and photos. Denham Springs man is facing more charges for sexual abuse of animals. Dylan Landry turned himself in to the Livingston Parish Sheriff's Office Detention Center. Investigators searched Landry's cell phone. Investigators say evidence on Landry's phone led them to charging him with 95 extra counts of having videos and photos of animal sexual abuse. He was previously arrested in December of 2023 on 8 counts of the same charge and sexually abusing an animal.
It's so gross.
That's why I was telling Charlie. That's why I wanted him to get a look at these guys so he knows who to stay away from.
Right.
You know?
Denham Springs man is facing more charges for sexual abuse of animals. Dylan Landry turned himself in to the Livingston Parish Sheriff's Office Detention Center.
Tonight, an IU student in custody and charged with raping 2 women on the Bloomington campus. Noah Apgar faces 5 counts of rape for the 2 attacks that happened less than a week apart. As CBS 4's Max Lewis tells us, there have been 4 reports of sexual assaults on the campus in less than a month.
The most recent attack happened here at the Sigma Alpha.
This is out of Bloomington, Indiana, y'all. This is So hold on, I'll read it real quick. So this college student charged with raping 2 women. So they're saying he hasn't even been arrested. IU student and Sigma Alpha Epsilon member Noah Apgar has warrant issued and charged with 5 counts of rape after police say he raped 2 women within a week. One attack happened inside the fraternity house where he was a member. I'm not going to read. No, we're not stopping, a victim quotes Apgar as saying in court documents. I don't care. It's going to happen. Stop not letting it happen. Just enjoy it. Holy shit. One victim described an event where Angar cornered her inside the restroom of the fraternity house and raped her. And we had an alderman down here, Bob Donovan. Y'all can go and look that up. He was peeping in the UWM Milwaukee bathrooms. Yep, he got cited for it. Alderman Bob Donovan, you can look it up. Yep. Right, baby? Remember that? Let's see. The second victim described him forcefully choking and raping her. I'm going to just play this clip. I'm going to just play the video.
Alpha Epsilon.
Tonight, an IU student in custody and charged with raping 2 women on the Bloomington campus. Noah Apgar faces 5 counts of rape for the 2 attacks that happened less than a week apart. As CBS 4's Max Lewis tells us, there have been 4 reports of sexual assaults on the campus in less than a month.
The most recent attack happened here at the Sigma Alpha Epsilon house. The victim reported it to police, and a campus-wide notification was sent out. And investigators believe that sparked yet another victim to come forward. According to court records, it was after a party on IU's frat row that the victim met up with Apgar at his fraternity house. The victim told police that Apgar ripped off her clothes and began choking and sexually assaulting her in a bathroom. Video from inside the home obtained by police shows the victim running away after the attack. She immediately reported it to IUPD, who sent a federally mandated crime notice later that day. 2 days later, another victim came forward and told police that Apgar had raped her too, telling investigators that he came to her home and sexually assaulted her, despite her repeatedly telling him to stop. The attack left her with serious injuries.
I always appreciate when students come forward. It's difficult. It is.
So now, this would be the case too. So now, like, this woman was raped.
Mm-hmm.
So now with this Roe v. Wade stuff, so what was someone like her, let's say, I mean, we can't get into it, but let's say she wanted to have an abortion.
Mm-hmm.
And she's in Indiana. I mean, we don't know their laws. I mean,
I don't.
Like, how do you think, like, that's an issue?
Right.
Like, because depending on how that state is, if abortions are illegal right now, she'd be screwed. Right? Or...
Yes.
I mean, as far as Trump's concerned, right? Because Republicans don't want abortions. They say, because at first Republicans were saying no abortions at all. And then they started changing up their rhetoric a little bit. Then they were starting to say, in some emergency situations.
Like, is that rape an emergency?
I would say so.
I mean,
So, like, they want her to make her have that baby, right?
Right. Because then chances are you're going to put that baby up for adoption. You know, then that kid at some point is going to find out that they were a product of rape.
Ooh. And no one, yeah.
I mean, because
no one really
because
talks
if you,
about how they feel about that.
Because if you look at it, like, you know, with like Ancestry.com and all that, now you can submit your DNA. So even if you had like a closed adoption, like,
what
say,
does that mean? Sorry.
Where you don't know your birth parents' names.
And you can't find out?
A closed adoption, the adoption agency agrees that they will not disclose that.
Okay.
That I think they give the adoptive parents medical history, and that's it.
Okay.
But, like, say you wanted to know who your birth parents were, you can just submit your DNA to Ancestry.com or 23andMe or whatever those are, and find your birth family. And then what if you do some Googling and stuff and you realize that,
Oh, okay. I see.
you know, you were... Because if I were adopted and I submitted my DNA, found, you know, my family.
I feel a lot of people probably do that.
And then, because that's the only way you can find out if it's a closed adoption, right? Now you have that.
Yeah.
So then, the first thing you would do is you would probably look up court records for these people's names, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you would find out that, like, your birth father raped your mother. I mean, how does... And then she didn't want you.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, because that's obvious. I mean, unless, you know... I mean, but some people keep their baby when they're raped. And they just never tell their kid. But again...
Oh, they never... Yeah,
you can
that's tough.
You can find that out. Somebody in the family knows. Somebody will leak that.
Do you think the child, even if they become an adult and then they find out that they're a child of, you know, of rape?
I think that's still
damaging.
Think
it is, but do you think that in some cases, I believe that in some cases, man, that's a long time to not tell somebody that, but that's hard to tell somebody that. Because emotionally, that would fuck with some. I'm saying, do you think the child would maybe be able to forgive the parent for not saying that? Because that'd be tough to walk around with emotionally. And they're going to appreciate that you kept them. So it's not like you were embarrassed and then you abort it. You know what I'm saying? They're alive, so obviously you love them and you had the child.
Right.
But I'm speaking on like as far as like telling them that. Like when do you tell somebody that?
Right.
And how do you say it?
I don't know.
But I'm forgetting. I'm not overlooking a part of like it's not the woman's fault that she was raped.
No.
So she shouldn't feel. I shouldn't say that how someone should feel, but I don't think it's not her fault. When I say she shouldn't feel guilty, I mean that because it's not her fault.
Right.
So you know what I mean when I say she shouldn't. It's not right for her. The person that did the rape should feel all the guilt. You know what I mean? So I think sometimes maybe the mother won't tell the daughter or the son because they feel guilty maybe, but they shouldn't. Is that a thing sometimes women feel? Is that a reason why maybe sometimes they don't come forward? I'm asking. I don't know.
I would think. I mean, you think why they don't come forward that they've been raped?
Got raped.
I know, but it's embarrassing. They're scared.
That's what I'm trying to get into, like how.
Because if the person is not convicted, they're still out there then,
yeah.
And they
could. You're living in.
They could do it again to you, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times it's like, well, why didn't you say anything right away?
That's what I mean.
So we could have collected DNA and, you know, like if you don't say anything for even a couple days and you've since showered
right,
and everything,
feel like you got it off you or something.
But like they can't.
Oh, Charlie.
They can't do any DNA collection or anything.
Right.
So there's no physical evidence.
Okay, so I could see. You
either have to say something right away, or like the longer you wait, the less likely the person is going to be convicted unless they confess, and so then they're out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then you also have the guilt of if you never say anything, they are just continuing to rape other
people too. Yeah.
You know, so it's just it's a tough spot to be in. I'm sure
it's a tricky.
That's never happened to me, but I can't imagine.
Man, that's rough.
Because then a part of you probably feels like, did I do something wrong? Did I say something wrong? Like especially if it's like date rape.
Right.
You know, like did I dress a certain way, even though that shouldn't fucking matter.
Right, that too. Even if a woman goes out like dressed a certain kind of way, and like that don't mean like
she's asking.
That
for
don't
it.
mean like
you're not asking to get assaulted.
Right, you can't be.
You can dress however. People don't say that about men.
Right.
If men are wearing tight pants, let's say, you know, or you know, are just attractive. Men aren't asking to be.
Yeah.
Harassed or whatever too. Like you should just be able to be you.
Yep.
You know, people should have self-control.
Time.
Just go with it.
On me.
Light something up, turn the shit up, lay back. Listen to me. For real.
What's up, y'all? So I wanted to take a look at the latest polls, the Wisconsin polls, presidential polls. So let's take a look. So this is, hold on, let me turn the light on real quick. Just enjoy the music for about 20 seconds. Got my Day of the Dead candle going. You know, it's National Hispanic Month. You know what I mean? And all those things. Latino, you know what I mean? All of that. Got my Day of the Dead candle going. Hold on, as a matter of fact, I'm going to go grab something and read it. This is something my Aunt Barbara and my mother made. Shout out my Aunt Barbara, I love you. Shout out my mom, love you. So let's see. I'll read this real quick. So, this is, about the Day of the Dead. So, this is from my mom. So, this is a picture of the Velasco family. Ofrenda. It's an altar featuring my grandfather and my mom's mom. I'm not going to say their names. Grandparents and great-grandparents to the children in our family. It was created by my Aunt Barbara to celebrate this year's El Dia de los Muertos holiday, or the Day of the Dead. I'll say that again. El Dia de los Muertos holiday, the Day of the Dead, and for years to come. El Dia de los Muertos is a celebration of life and death of, of family and friends. It is a holiday that originated in Mexico and is celebrated all over the world on the 1st and 2nd of November. The Mexican holiday is also associated with Halloween or All Saints' Day. This holiday was also featured in the movie Coco. I'll have to check that out, y'all. Check that movie Coco out. Never heard of it until now. Traditions connected with the holiday include honoring the deceased, using marigold flowers, and building home altars called ofrendas with favorite foods and beverages of the departed. It's also very colorful, so please enjoy. Happy El Dia de los Muertos. Love, Mom. I mean, we're a little ahead of that a couple months, but, it all ties in, But anyways, back to these poles. Yeah, we got all kinds of Mexican art up in our house. Alright, so back to these polls. So the latest polls. So it says this is from ABC News Live. And yep. So update is September 18th, 2024 at 3:40 p.m. It is 4:32 right now when I am recording. So let's see who's ahead in Wisconsin. So September 8th, 2024, they have Harris at 48.7 and Trump at 45.9, and that is as of today. So it says updating average for each candidate in 2024 presidential polls, accounting for each poll's recency, sample size, methodology, and House effects. So yeah, they have Harris at 48.7 and Trump at 45.9, and that is as of basically 4 o'clock. 95% of averages projected to fall in this range. Let's see. So then we got some more Wisconsin polls here. So this is the President General Election, Wisconsin 2024, and this is from the Quinnipiac University. Quinnipiac University, that's with a Q. They have Harris at 49 and Trump at 48. September 12th through 16th poll, Quinnipiac University. They had Harris at 48, Trump 47. Let's see. See if there's any other ones. Okay, here's more. The Fabrizio, Lee and Associates Impact Research Poll has Harris at 49, Trump 48. The Fabrizio, Lee and Associates Impact Research Poll has Harris 48, Trump 45. Insider Advantage Poll has Harris 49, Trump 47. The Redfield and Wilton Strategies Poll has Harris at 49, Trump at 46.
clicks into your business.
Morning Consult poll has Harris at 49, Trump at 46. So all these polls were done within the last 2 weeks. Yeah, within the last 2 weeks. You know what I mean? So, like, things haven't really changed that much here in Wisconsin. Kamala's been up between, like, 1 point and, like, 3 points. It's been fluctuating between back and forth. But basically, she has a lead in all these polls here in Wisconsin. So, let's just keep the pressure on, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Keep knocking on doors. You know, I know my family's doing their part. You know what I'm saying? We're doing our part this way. You know, Michelle's going to be voting, you know, because here in Wisconsin, you know what I'm saying, early voting starts this week. Them ballots are going out. So just make sure you guys got all your I's dotted, your T's crossed. Make sure that you don't leave any room for anyone to throw your vote in the garbage or say that this ain't right, you didn't do that right, the address, you know what I'm saying? Double check, triple check, quadruple check. Make sure that, you know, all your paperwork, everything is legal. You know what I'm saying? And just be paying attention what's going on at the voting booth, too. Make sure, you know what I'm saying, that you're watching them. Just make sure you're watching all that stuff, you know. But back to the episode.
No remorse, ain't no horny shit. D-block, till the day I die. Or you on in this? I got a few things I wanna ask the Lord. Why my people got to be so poor, Phil? Why is it so rough when you're young and black? They say you go to jail and get strung on crack. Why that girl have a baby, she was 12 years old. That's the thing why the cell got to be so cold. Why these niggas hit with so many years? Whole family in court crying so many tears. Can you picture us living with hope? When the same ones hanging us is giving us dope. Shit, it's hard to get by. I pray to God it's still hard to get by. Just wanna hold my son, but I can't leave my house until I load my gun. I got to grab my sword, and when I die I got some things I wanna ask the Lord. Like, why are we dying from AIDS? Why on TV it's like to be forget? Ain't that sort of like my gun got a right to be waved? If I could sit back and watch the whole cycle of slaves, that's my man with a blood sash. That's myself with a next.
It's a cold world, dress warm, y'all.
State like an ape in the box, and my immune on fallen angel. Got to pray by myself cause I'm out of angle. I ain't facing the east. Tell the brothers I was shaking the bills. At the 9 and the 8 in the streets. Open your eyes, stay watching, see if the save is deep. Daddy, pray for a better living. Even though I think I'm better dying. Why? Cause I'd rather hear the angels singing. Why? And I don't wanna hear my people crying. Feel me, black. We ain't got to die no more. I said we ain't got to die no more. Black woman, listen. You ain't got to cry no more. I said you ain't got to cry no more. Black child, listen.
They ain't gonna do that. They gonna put up a Starbucks. 2 big Starbucks. Because Starbucks wait for some stuff to fall. The whole house closed, put a Starbucks up. 2 big old Starbucks. They're gonna make all the money. You know y'all love Starbucks. White folks love it. Coffee, latte, mate, hot, tate. Uli you say, I'm le trois. They love all that shit. It's $1,000 a cup. Y'all don't care. They put crack in that coffee. That's why you keep going back. Starbucks open at 10. You there at 6 o'clock. Latte, $1,000 a cup. Problem, no problem. White folks line up around the block. Starbucks. I know how to make white folks stop going to Starbucks tomorrow morning. 6 o'clock news. Knickers have just bought Starbucks. They'll stop going, I'm not going to that goddamn Starbucks. I like my coffee black, but not that damn black.
I promise you, I will pay for the legal fees, I promise. Do you know what they used to do to guys like that when they were in a place like this? They'd be carried out on a stretcher, folks. Like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you. And when you see these thugs being thrown into the back of a paddy wagon, you just see them thrown in, rough. I said, please don't be too nice.
I promise.
Proud Boys, Stand back and stand by. We will root out the communists, Marxists, fascists, and the radical left thugs that live like vermin within the confines of our country.
That was just a little sampler. In March 2016, Republican Senator Ted Cruz described the Trump campaign as a campaign that, quote, affirmatively encourages violence, unquote. That's Senator Cruz said that. And as Trump called, as president, Democratic politicians and journalists the enemy of the American people, in 2018, Trump superfan Cesar Sayoc mailed 16 homemade pipe bombs to them, including to former President Obama and former Secretary of State Clinton, and, yeah, to us here at CNN. As Trump lamented a plot to steal the 2020 election, David DePape broke into the home of then-Speaker Nancy Pelosi, brutally attacking Pelosi's husband Paul with a hammer, causing lasting damage to him. DePape testified that he believed that Pelosi was part of a plot to, quote, manipulate the country and, quote, steal votes from Donald Trump. But
see, that's all the bullshit. Shout out Jake Tapper. You know what I mean? That's all that he just ran down a list of all the rude and disrespectful and racist stuff that Trump has said about people. Here's some more.
Which obviously didn't do a very good job.
Last year, after Trump posted what he claimed was former President Barack Obama's address, Taylor Taranto, another Trump supporter, was arrested with weapons in Obama's neighborhood. The same suspect was also one of thousands who, as you might recall, stormed the Capitol on January 6, 2021, wreaking havoc, causing violence, causing serious pain to law enforcement after then-President Trump told his supporters this.
We fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
Taranto is facing federal charges plus a civil wrongful death lawsuit alleging he contributed to the death of D.C. police officer Jeffrey Smith, who was assaulted on January 6.
See? See? That's all that shit is because of Trump. That's all Trump's doing. All the shit he says, all the nasty rhetoric. So he has no room to say people are spewing anything. Trump's a racist clown. So y'all can chew on that stuff for a while. But yeah, those are Trump's words. So, like, how can people vote for that? Black and brown people, how can you vote for that? Everything you just heard me play, how can you still get behind him? You're not going to lose everything if you vote for Kamala. If you're someone that's worried about the economy, you're not going to lose everything you have. That's just a lame excuse.
Good morning and happy Wednesday to everybody. We hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Lots of interesting stuff to discuss. And have a good rest of your week. We're halfway through it. Thanks.
Peace and blessings, y'all. Let's get to this episode.
How about some Lloyd Banks real quick for some music? See what he's talking about. This is off the Halloween Havoc 2, y'all.
Smash your television crew lies, add up the awkward shit. Maybe you're the new me who lied. Fuck is my orchestra? Somebody pulling strings, new rings, bringing the formula. Don't be the one that wish they prepared after the storm occurred. Paris, London, China, and more. Back to the corner store. Ain't really no borders out here. Feels like a corridor. The weak preyed on, distortion on. Back and forth with my old mentality, battling. Come up with something that's gonna live long. Calorie staggering. You niggas getting out of line now. Battery added when shit hits the fan. I mean, more stand, never been accurate. Right of traffic in a dead jam, fed on your average. I'm half showman, half savage. Head of the palace. Trade a trick and then my hit club. Better than challenge. A lot of confusion brings a little balance. Ain't no guarantees, you never know. Better be ready, do it all ball now or get tore down. Part of the show, you got a stranger dedicated. Hoping to see you drop. No different from your last foe. Him want your glow. All we know is the bottom line in my home. Probably off time zones. I'ma get to his way and then bring it home. Ain't no settling either. We up for more. Strapped, how about y'all? Problem solvers on call. Call the ghetto taught me get cola on the ground. Chip shoulder, Grammy, New York and shit. City out of order, exotic odor. How about the zip? They give you money, followed by problems that reinforce the fix. Torture shit, you want me forced, can it feel like I stay too long? Patience gone viral, line still some of your favorite songs. Stream it, want it, you can go get it.
I got this video clip I'm going to play for y'all. Let's see. This is, so they were asking Trump a specific question. You know what I'm saying? And he was in Michigan, and they're asking him how he's going to bring down the cost of food and groceries. And listen to how he does not answer the question.
It's down 50%.
How are you going to bring down the cost of food and groceries?
Good. Very good. Thank you.
Now pay attention. She asked a specific question. We'll roll it back.
How are you going to bring down the cost of food and groceries?
Good. Very good. Thank you. So, we have to start always with energy. Always. I don't want to be boring about it, but there's no...
What does energy have to do with groceries?
Bigger subject. It covers everything. If you make donuts, if you make cars, whatever you make, energy is a big deal, and we're going to get that. It's my ambition to get your energy bill within 12 months down 50%. If I can do that, we've done a hell of a job. 5-0, not 50.
They don't even know what they're clapping for.
Interest rates are going to follow, and actually they're going to follow for another reason. The economy is now not good, and interest rates, you'll see they'll do the rate cut and all the political stuff tomorrow, I think. And, will he do a half a point? Will he do a quarter of a point? But the reason is because the economy is not good. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to do it. But we're going to get interest rates down, and we got to work with our farmers. Our farmers are being decimated right now. They're being absolutely decimated. And, one of the reasons is we allow a lot of farm product into our country, and we're going to have to be a little bit like other countries. We're not going to allow so much...
How are you going to bring down the cost of food and groceries?
Good. Very good. Thank you. So, we have to start always with energy.
And keep in mind, that was a black woman that was asking him that, too. So trust me. She realizes he didn't answer her question. The Trump supporters in that audience, they don't give a shit. His base, he's got his base. They're not going anywhere. But the bottom line is, when all of this is said and done, Trump is going to lose. And I think everyone is starting to realize that and see that. That's why he's acting the way he is. Dude is unhinged like never before. I wish nothing but the worst for Trump. Back to the episode. Peace and blessings and good morning. It's hump day, y'all. It's Wednesday. It is Wednesday, September 18th, y'all. We got halfway through the week here. Let's finish it out. Just want to say good morning and thanks for everyone that's listening. We really appreciate it. There's a lot going on out here in this world. And I just want to say I hope life's treating everyone well. Keep your head on a swivel. Enjoy this episode. Enjoy the music, the content. I want to shout out, we got our first listener from Utah. Yeah. We got our first few downloads, from Utah. We really appreciate that. I was pleasantly surprised when I saw Utah checking in this morning. So shout out Utah. I appreciate y'all for listening. Let's get to this. We'll kick this episode. Excuse me. It's early, y'all. We'll kick this episode off, you know what I'm saying, with a little Styles P. Let's go.
Sometimes you gotta let that 180 negative go, you know?
Yep.
That 180 positive is always there. That's the balance. Yeah. shit I discuss make a lot of money. It becomes a lack of niggas you could trust. Built the bullshit in, but I played the royal flush. Got a bad habit. Black golf rabbit was a clutch. We was just teens, my nigga, and VWs. Now as a grown man, nigga, I need W's. I ain't trying to trouble you, nigga. I'm trying to bubble you. That could be your money or scar. Are you lovable? If you ain't one of my niggas, I'm not huggable. Try to extort me, nigga. I'm not thuggable. Chucking a brown gun, yelling out good grief. But is grief good if they come from a hood street? I get dirty like Pigpen, but I don't do the big pen. Probably in the 5-star getting some good sleep. If it ain't bulletproof, is it really a good cheat? But it's never the dumb niggas. Know me, quick to say fuck niggas. What up? When I'm keeping it tough niggas. Fight but not a dodge, hope you get the drift. Get the drift because I bought the work and I took the shit. Been through all the years, you found out what took the shit. Pretty nigga, know a pretty nigga, that'll book a bitch. Now you can look at that, you can look at this. Wanna lean you either way the fiends or the cookers is. Don't be a simp, either way the pimps or the hookers is. Yeah, I'm out, or you in with me. You better pray I feel your energy. If not, you a memory. Gunners the defense, nigga. No offending me. From mob life to the God life. Keep it clean in the God's life. If not, you in the God's sight. Know me. You don't wanna die in a bar fight. Ghost, ghost.
So yesterday was voter registration day. I hope people that are interested or considering, you know what I'm saying, voting, I hope y'all got registered yesterday. You know what I'm saying? This year's election is a big deal. It's like no other. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not old or anything, but this is clearly the most consequential, the most significant, the most important, because see here, unlike, I mean, there's always, race always plays into presidential elections and all that stuff. It just does. I'll say it until I'm no longer breathing. Race, class, and stereotypes run our world. They really do. But this race is like no other because you're seeing all of that playing out. And the difference with this one, it's not subtle. Usually in the past, you know, because we've always had, you know, for the most part, either white candidates running for president, I'm saying the majority, or it's been a white president, you know, besides Barack, and that's it. So history shows us right there that this country doesn't favor electing black presidents or brown presidents or women, for that matter. Hillary Clinton was the most, no matter how anyone personally feels about Hillary Clinton, it's undisputable that she was the most qualified individual to ever run for president. You know what I'm saying? And one could throw Kamala's up there too. As far as credentials, she's got mad credentials. But yeah, because like the race stuff and the racism and all the like, it's never like before. I mean, the stuff is just blatant. It's out there. You know, you're hearing Trump now. It's to the point where because Trump knows he's losing. Trump may be a clown and a racist and a sexist and all of that. He's all of those things, but he ain't dumb. I mean, he's getting older now. You know, his brain is slowing down and stuff like that. He looks old. You can just see it. But he ain't dumb. And everything with him is calculated, and everything about him is about crowd size. He wants, you know, he's a TV guy. He doesn't care about anything else. He just wants the power. And you just see him screaming out to his base, all the racist dog whistles and all this stuff. He's speaking to white adult males. You know what I'm saying? But what they don't realize is you have people like me, a black and brown individual, that's tired of hearing about all the bullshit. I'm sick of dealing with the racism and the stereotypes and the classism and the other isms and all that. You know what I'm saying? So this is my way of fighting back. This is my way of giving back. This, you know, that's one of the main reasons Michelle and I created this platform. You know what I'm saying? So we can speak our mind, give our thoughts and opinions. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's on a smaller scale, but, you know, we're helping out the Democratic Party by providing facts, information, personal stories. You know, it's time to pick a side. But like I said, you know, this presidential race is just so significant because just of all the racial stuff, and it clearly is about race. And I hate to say that, but it is. And that's why it's frustrating seeing some black and brown people willing to vote for Trump. That shit's so frustrating. Because I feel like anyone black or Latin or, you know what I'm saying, that are voting for Trump, they have a grind to axe. I think they have personal stuff. Like, we have a radio show host here in Milwaukee at 101.7 The Truth. Shout out 101.7 The Truth. Shout out Sherwin Hughes. He's the only show that I listen to, but they had a round table last night, and they were, you know, discussing politics and everything. And one of the radio hosts, you know, he's black, but he says he's voting for Trump. And when you ask him why, he doesn't. He said someone straight up asked him last night why he's voting for Trump, because he claims he voted for Barack. He claims the last couple elections that he just wrote in his own name. That's a waste of a vote. I don't know why people do that. That's a complete waste of a vote. You might as well just stay home if you do that, because that's not moving the needle, and it's taken away from other people's votes. That's the stupidest thing to me when people do that. It's like you might as well just stay at home. Just sit your ass at home. Yeah, but this lady asked him, and he said something, you know, he said immigration. And let me just say about immigration, we live here in Wisconsin. I'm talking about specifically Wisconsin. If you're someone, well, just in general, if you're not someone that lives on a border state, I'm talking about out west now, because that's what the southern border, because that's what everyone seems to be all up in arms about. If you live in Wisconsin, you live in Illinois, you know, somewhere in the Midwest, why are you worried about someone from Mexico coming over here and doing anything to you or taking a so-called job from you? You know that Springfield, Ohio? You know, in true reality, that place was going to shit. You know, that's a white town for the most part. And they had a lot of job openings that nobody wanted to do. Whether it was white people, black people, whoever was living there, no one was filling the jobs. Those people were brought over here from Haiti legally. Y'all hear me? Legally. To fill jobs that some of us black and white people act like we're too good to do. Like I told you, I've worked when I got out the joint, I started working in restaurants. I didn't have any skills. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have any skills. So I started bussing tables. You know what I'm saying? So I've been to these downtown restaurants. I've been in the service industry, restaurant, you know, whatever you call it, from 2004 was my very first restaurant job, and I worked in restaurants all the way up until 2017. So what's that? About 13 years of restaurant service industry experience. And I'll tell you, these downtown restaurants that I've worked at, the servers, you know, waiters, whatever, those are 9 times out of 10, those are going to be white people. And then everyone else, you know, the help, people that are bussing the tables, pouring your water, bringing you bread, clearing your plates, taking the garbage out, washing the dishes, doing all the running back and forth, are going to be Latin people or Mexican people. I know, because I work there. And I see how some of them get treated and talked to, and it's usually white customers. You know what I'm saying? And that's my thing, like, if people are so concerned about immigration and all that stuff like that, because in true reality, it's only an issue every 4 years when it's time to run for president. But in between them 4 years, no one really cares about it. Or if they do, you know, they keep it to themselves. It's only every 4 years when it gets politicized, when it's time to run for president or whatever, that's when it becomes a really big issue. And everyone starts picking sides and, you know, saying how they feel about it. But in between that, there's no conversation about it. If for people that are so up in arms about migration, and you don't want Mexicans here and all this stuff, and you think they're taking and getting everything from you, well, next time you go to your favorite Mexican restaurant or you stop at your favorite food truck, why don't you ask Paco, Enrique, Maria, Isabella, why don't you ask them for their green card before you order food from them? Ain't nobody doing that shit. When you go to your favorite restaurant, Conejitos or Guadalajara or wherever, when you go in, are you going to ask them for their green card? You're going to say, hey, I want to eat here, but I want to make sure you're legal before I sit down and order something. Ain't nobody doing that shit. That's what I don't like. That it would be more genuine and more like, you know what I'm saying, respectable if I heard people talking about it all year round, all the time, day and night. You know what I'm saying? Then I could at least respect that it's something that you truly care about. Because the evidence would be there. I'd be like, damn, they've been talking about this all year long. Like, even when it's not election time. Because even though I still wouldn't agree with you, your stance, it'd be like, oh, okay, well, like, at least they've been talking about this consistently. It's not something they just brought up because it's election time. But yeah, for people that live here in Wisconsin, because they asked that Tory that last night, they were like, because, you know, he was complaining about the migrants and all this stuff. And then one of the radio hosts, you know, that has a good head on his shoulders, he asked each of the hosts, he was like, where do you live? And they were like, Milwaukee. And they were like, no, he was asking them, where were you born or whatever. And they were like telling him where. And he was asking them, where do you guys live currently? And they all told him and stuff like that. And he was like, well, then why are you worried about someone from California or someone way, you know what I'm saying, literally across country? Why are you worried about them coming over here and taking something from you? They're not. You should be more worried about somebody white or somebody else doing something, you know, someone near you or closer to you. People should be more worried about a shitty relative or a family member being disrespectful or saying or doing something to you before a migrant way across the other side of the country. It's like our you know, some of our fears are they're based in just like, they're not even like reality. Like the stuff that some of us worry about aren't even in reality something to truly worry about. You know, Mexican people and Latin people that come over here, you know, 9 out of 10 of them are coming over here to work. I don't see anyone asking Enrique or Paco or Lalo or Leo or Daniel asking them for their green card when you call their landscaping business or their roofing company and they pull up to the house and you're talking about, you know, them, you know, fixing whatever. I don't think anyone's asking them for their green card first. That's what I'm saying. Like, what? This shit'd be crazy. Because, like I said, people would be coming over here doing stuff that we don't want to do. Because when I worked at restaurants, I didn't see anyone black in there working. And I know that there's a few things that go into that. Sometimes black people don't come and work in downtown restaurants or downtown businesses because sometimes we feel like we're not wanted. You know what I'm saying? Or we won't get the job, so sometimes we just won't frequent them places. But on the other hand, some of us just don't want to do them type of jobs. We don't want to bust tables. We don't want to take out garbage. You know what I'm saying? We'll be acting like we're too good for that. And then when we have Mexican people over here doing that kind of stuff, we'll look down on them. You know what I'm saying? That's what I don't like. The energy will be pointed at the wrong person. And then people are talking about, oh, they're sending migrants to Chicago. And you know who's doing that? It's Republicans doing that. Everyone's talking about do your research. Do your damn research. Look and see who's sending the migrants over here. The Republican governor out of Texas, Greg Abbott, the wheelchair-bound governor, he was sending people to Chicago, Colorado. That governor, that Ron DeSantis out of Florida, he was sending migrants to Chicago, Colorado, all that stuff. It's not Democrats doing that. It's Republicans doing it. They're sending them to Democratic-leaning cities so that black and brown people can sit there and fuss and fight and argue with each other. Like, I just don't understand why people can't see that. I try to tell people, don't let your eyes and ears lie to you. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we got to be better with that. And I'm just out and about, doing my delivery route. I'm going to stop off at the store, and we'll holler at everyone soon. We got our first Utah listener. Ouch. Ooh. Yeah, I was surprised this morning. Because, we don't check the stats like every day like that. But I clicked on there this morning and looked. And just like through my peripheral kind of.
Yeah.
Because it shows the map.
Yeah.
And I, saw it highlighted in green way over up in the corner. I'm like, Utah, huh? So yeah, whoever's listening from Utah, thank you, appreciate it. Now don't run off if you hear us talking about race and stuff. No, I'm just playing, but no. Whenever we do talk about this stuff, there's a point to it. It's not just it's
not just a rant.
Yeah, it's not just a rant or just a bashing or just like me versus them type stuff. There's usually like some kind of point, behind it, or at least to make people think, or not make them, but at least hopefully give people a challenge, some ways of the thinking, It kind of keeps us all stuck. I like to call it mental slavery.
Oh, that's a good one.
I think a lot of us are in mental slavery. It's like mental segregation too. Because I know you're talking about like how a company can hire, like you can have a business, right? And you can have all kinds of mixes of people there. Black, white, Asian, Latin, all that, right? But if no one's like talking and getting to know each other and sharing ideas and just really like communicating with each other and like just really doing the work, then in reality you just have a bunch of different races of people working together in a building.
Right.
Or wherever it is. That's all it really is at the end of the day. If nothing's coming from it. That's why people, our place is diverse. But visually it might be.
but what's really going on inside or underneath. Because I feel some of these companies too, and I don't even know which one specifically, I'm just saying in general, I think some of these like white companies, like when people are starting to be like, y'all need to be more diverse and hire more black and brown people, I feel like some of these owners didn't want to. In their heart, they didn't want to. But they knew it would look bad, like other companies were starting to do it. So they're like, oh, fuck it, let me go in and hire somebody and have them figure this all out and put it all together, hire a couple blacks. But in reality, in their heart, they really don't want to do it.
Right.
But they're almost feeling forced, you know what I'm saying? That's why the stuff ain't genuine to me.
Right.
You know, like when you say, oh, diversity, you know, and then you look up and you have no black people, then you're scrambling to hire a few black people. Like, that's not genuine. You should already have been done that. So it's not, it's not genuine. It's almost like force. You're trying to do it just to look good now, so you can be a part of the show.
Right. And I also feel like a lot of clients or customers or whatever will ask, like they almost give you like a survey, like how many people do you have in this type of role? How many people do you have in this type of role? Like, you know, like how many Hispanic people do you have in this role? How many
in this department?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah.
So they're, you know,
they're like trying to put the missing puzzle pieces in there real quick.
And then, like, sometimes I feel like when you see that on paper, when companies see that on paper, you know somebody's like, damn.
Right.
What's up?
Exactly.
Like, we don't have any minorities in any of these positions.
Right. It's like, whoa.
And it's like, well, no, you don't.
And especially, it looks even worse if you're a bigger company, especially in an urban area. You know what I mean? And you've been a company for a long time. Like, for example, like a Harley Davidson. And I literally just thought that up in my head, but I'd be willing to bet dollars to donuts that. And you know what? As a matter of fact, I'll go on there and to their website and just, I don't know if I'll be able to get those specific numbers, but I could at least be able to like go on their board of directors or whatever, because you know, and see who their higher uppers are, and see how many black or brown people are upper in the making decision department. I bet it. I'm gonna just throw this number. Let's say there's 10 executives. I just threw a number out there just so we could. Let's say there's 10 like executive employees there. At least 8 of them are going to be white, and that's before we even do any looking.
Right.
Would you agree on that number? That's about right.
I would.
Whether it's white men and or white women, I'm saying like it would be at least 8 white people in those decision-making executive roles,
right?
Whatever they are.
I feel like a lot of companies are, you know, moving towards hiring women and minorities, and honestly, like, it sucks that it isn't genuine. But I'm still good. But I'm in some cases. I don't want to say it's not.
It really does matter.
But I'm glad to see it's happening.
Right. So hopefully, in some time, it will become normal.
Right.
Right. But yeah.
Because a lot, you know, for years it was not only were there no minorities, but there were no women.
Really.
And now you're seeing more women running companies.
You know what?
And you're seeing a lot of more black women running companies.
You know, as a matter of fact, the person that ran and set up and was in charge of the Secret Service thing, you know, when the RNC was here?
Yeah.
Here in Milwaukee? That was a woman.
that ran that.
Yeah.
So, and most of the Secret Service is men.
Yeah.
White men. I mean, they said like over 70 or around 70% of the Secret Service is white adult males.
Well, and that's kind of a unique
so that lets you know
position because
the only other 30%, everyone else is thrown into that. Women, black people, Latin people, that's crazy.
I'm assuming for that role, you have to pass.
It's too early for the cigarette for baby.
You have to pass like a physical.
Mm-hmm. Some of those physical fitness tests, I've never done a physical, test for like to be a cop or a firefighter.
It's
or
more
anything
intense
like that.
than being a cop too.
That's what I was gonna say. Like I don't know for sure, but I would looking at some of these cops in the shape they're in.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're passing the physical test.
Well, they may have passed
it
20 years ago.
But some of them haven't changed much, and you can tell.
Right, and so like as
some of these cops, their bellies are hanging over there. Like if they have to chase somebody, who are they going to catch? That's why. That's one of the reasons they shoot people.
And I think, like they do a firearm. Don't they do a firearm test every year or something?
I know they do like have retraining. I don't know how often it is.
But they should have to do like a physical, not just a physical, but I mean like a physical test. Can you chase somebody?
For sure. Yeah. But I'm glad you brought that up with the training. You know how people would be saying sometimes, like, okay, like, when people get killed, I'm not even going to throw it, well, it is about race, though. Like, when the cops kill somebody black or brown, and then one of the conversations, like, afterwards, and you'll hear it from cops, they'll be saying that training needs to be better.
Yeah.
But really, that's bullshit. That's a bullshit answer. Because cops use their training just fine when they're arresting most white people.
Right.
They follow the training. The suspect goes into custody without being killed or harmed. But when it's somebody black, they kill us. I'm saying, when they do. I'm not, what I'm saying. So it's not about training.
Yeah. I think that
it's what's in your heart and how you and that goes back to race, class, and stereotypes.
And I think there should be like an unconscious bias class. Every year. Like,
but
you shouldn't have to do that.
But if hate is in your heart, if you're somebody white and you're racist, right?
It's not going to change.
You're a big whatever you have.
Chances
are, and you have to go to this course or this class. For one thing, and I can't get into somebody's head, but I would imagine if somebody, because you would probably feel forced to do it. So you're not even going to have a good attitude going into it, and you already feel the way you feel. At that point, you're just doing the course just to do it because it's part of what you have to do to maintain your job, to continue doing or whatever. But if you're not going to apply it, because when you get into a situation, your instincts kick in. How you feel, just like who you are as a person, all that kicks in.
Right.
No course is gonna. It may make you think about something like in that moment. It's almost the same thing with like therapy. You can go to therapy. A person can go to therapy, and you might feel great while you're there, but then a couple hours after you leave, that shit wears off.
Right.
I'm just saying it, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not saying in totality. And that might be a bad analogy, but I'm just saying, like, I think people kind of revert back to who they are as people. I just think that's why I always go back to, like, with the election. This election, no more than any I've ever seen, is about race. I don't care what anyone says. Because when you hear white people get asked, about Trump and all that, they'll say, a lot of them will say, well, I don't like the rhetoric. Some of the stuff he says is unnecessary. I don't really like the racial stuff, but I'm going to hold my nose and vote for him. That's because he's white. That's who they're familiar. That's their teammate.
Right.
They're willing to overlook that. Whereas us black people, we have an issue with it because the racial stuff is about us.
Agreed.
So that's what it is. That's why you see when you see people on CNN and they're debating and they're going back and forth, it's usually a white person versus a black person, and both people are trying to prove that this stuff is about race. It is, because if it wasn't, for one thing, Trump wouldn't even be a candidate. They'd have been done as dude to move on just from all the stuff. He wouldn't even be eligible to run right now. 80% of the MAGAs that support him are racists. And that's why it hurts when you see black and brown people willing to vote for him. That's why it hurts. It's like, and I heard somebody say earlier, like all black people aren't the same. Like we have different issues. Like some people are married, some people are single. Like, and that's true, right? We all have to live different lives. But race, like black people should always be on the same fucking page when it comes to race. We should we shouldn't even have to know each other. We'd be complete strangers, but there should just be that unsaid thing. We should be on that same page. No, I don't care what's going on. I don't care how rich you are as a black person, how poor you are. And in this kind of election, in this kind of environment, we should all be on the same page like no other time before, because of Trump, because of the racist stuff.
Right.
That's why it hurts so much. It's like, man, we can't like, just based off race, like we know all the stuff he says. I don't even have to be in the same state with somebody. Someone in California, Colorado, Michigan, wherever. We should, like, when we hear the stuff Trump says about race and all that shit, we should all just be like on the same page. Like, I should know my brothers and sisters in California don't like the shit he's saying, and I should know they're on the same page with that. That's why I hate when I hear black people say, "Oh, I'm still looking into things. I'm still trying to figure things out." Consider what? Your life ain't over if you vote for Kamala, because they'll be screaming, "Oh, the economy." So the economy, or you earning a few more dollars, what you think Trump is going to do for you, which is nothing. You're willing to vote for him and risk all the bullshit he's potentially going to do because you think that to me, that's a selfish voter.
Yeah. And I also feel like, when people are just like, well, you've had 3.5 years to fix things, why haven't she's not the president? And I understand, right, like, the message is your party has had 3.5 years.
Yeah, why can't they say that?
Right, because it's like they're basically blaming her for, like, also, what bills have Congress passed? Not many, because
what do they say
all they're doing
part?
is fucking arguing.
What do they say that part?
Yeah, thanks.
And like you said, no matter how anyone feels about it, the border deal, that could have got passed.
Yeah.
And this is the other thing that I don't understand. Like, Trump is not a politician. He's not a government official. He's not even a politician at this point. He's just a citizen right now with a bunch of criminal shit going on. So how is he even able to even influence or even say, hey, let's not do this border deal? He shouldn't even be able, his word shouldn't even be, that'd be like me being like, hey, Democrats, yeah, don't do that bill. And they're like, okay, who am I?
Like,
I'm not even part of the government.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much influence Trump has and all. It doesn't matter. He's not a government official. It should have been, when he was saying that, not to do the deal, government officials should have been like, dude, like, you can't even have a say on this. You're not even a government official. Like, your work, like, it doesn't even matter. Like, you're just one of other millions of opinions of regular citizens. Like, why should his word hold any more weight than mine? He hasn't been the president in how long now? When did he leave office? About 5 years ago or something already?
4.
Yeah, 4 years ago. That's crazy. What do you think?
I'm just like tired of the whole thing. Like, just rip the Band-Aid off. Who's ever gonna win is gonna win. I mean, I want Kamala to win, but I'm just saying, like, I just want, like, I'm so tired.
You just want a normal president? Basically.
Well, I want a normal president, but I want all these commercials to end. And
yeah, we can't even watch our favorite.
Right. And, like, I just want this hate to just move on. And I do feel like if he wins, that's all they're going to talk about for 4 more years on the news.
Yeah, because he's going to be doing every day. It's going to be
some bullshit like the
whether
last
it's a
time.
tweet or him disrespecting somebody.
Yeah, and look at what he did today, and look at what he did yesterday, and just so it's exhausting.
Mm-hmm. And here in Wisconsin, I think voting starts this week, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Early voting, because voter registration was yesterday. So we hope everyone got registered that plans on registering to vote.
It's just getting old with me.
Yeah.
And just like the hate that you see, like when you're scrolling through Twitter.
You can't even get past it.
Whether on both sides.
But a lot of it is. But if you read like the sides, like if it's a Trump supporter, usually they're spewing up some kind of bullshit. You know what I mean? And a lot of the Democratic people are usually like responding back with some kind of facts to dispute the bullshit they're saying, or we're questioning them like, well, what about that? You know what I'm saying? We're not the ones coming with just nonsense. It's them.
Right. Like, they spew complete conspiracy theory nonsense stuff.
Right.
And then Democrats are trying to, like, defend it.
Right.
And then bring up his bullshit, too.
And then they get mad at that. So that's what most of that is.
Right. It's like watching 2 toddlers fight over a toy. Almost.
Yeah, I guess.
It's just so negative. I'm just so tired of it.
Yeah. That Anita Baker sample was hidden. Enjoy a little more LOX here.
Ends up like the turbulence rain. Stay patient with the birch of the game. Fuck it. I guess I died when my brother died. Cause to tell you the truth, I feel like I'm the curse of the game. My vision is blurred, dreams are shattered, my heart is broke. Pain so deep, I find it hard to cope. Missing your smile, missing your style. I figured I'm the next one there so we can kick it a while. But your name lives on, the sun still shine. Every time your baby mom lift up your child, I guess I gotta switch my angle now. Take a positive look, hit a blunt, my little brothers with the angels now. Some of us fall and some of us fly, but at the end of the book, baby, all of us die.
Look at this tweet I just stumbled upon. What does that one say, baby?
A lot of black people are starting to talk about immigrants the way white people talk about black people. Don't.
Straight up. Straight the F up. Michelle and I talk about that all the time. What do you say, baby? It's a mystery?
Yeah.
That shit is a mystery. Chewy, ain't it? Chewy. It's a mystery. We were just talking about that. Why? And this ain't no rhetorical question. Why? In reality, because the numbers just came out as of right now, and I know everyone has different numbers, but I looked up a few different polls. And the percentages are 18, 17, and 18, the 3 polls I looked.
saying the percentage of black people that are voting for Trump. So I'd still rather be on the 82% side that are voting for Kamala. Because at the end of the day, that little 18%, y'all are in the minority. Y'all don't hold no weight. You know what I'm saying? So we just don't understand why somebody black or brown will be willing to vote for Trump. And I can't understand. It's crazy to me that we live in a world now where you have Mexicans telling other Mexicans to go back over to Mexico, to get back over the wall.
Right, you know what I don't understand? Like, I understand if you are a black Republican, I understand if you're a conservative, I get all that. But once somebody starts, like, making racist comments, isn't that, like, enough for you?
I think so.
Because you wouldn't tolerate it from a regular person, would you?
Thank you.
So, like, say a friend of yours.
That's the perfect example right there.
Say if you are black and you have a white friend.
There's no better example.
And they say something racist repeatedly.
You're going to be done fucking with them.
Right, you'll be like, ooh, I can't be friends with that person anymore. They're fucked up. So how could you vote for somebody to be president of the United States?
And in reality, is a complete stranger to you.
Yes.
And not even of the same race. You have you literally have nothing in common with dude.
Right.
Literally.
Yeah, I don't
That's why we say those black and brown people that do that, they're scorned. They have something personal going on. They have something personal going on. Yeah, that's a great analogy right there, yeah. Let's see what, shout out Keith Boykin. He says, Kamala Harris faced a unique challenge at NABJ. When she says something pro-black, Republicans use it to convince white folk that she can't be trusted. And when she says something less pro-black, they get black people to criticize her for not doing more. Let me see. Shout out Keith Boykin, y'all. You know what he's talking about.
To understand what Kamala Harris said to the National Association of Black Journalists today, you got to understand the Republican cynical race strategy. Anytime Kamala Harris says something pro-black, Trump and the Republicans will use it against her to convince white people that she can't be trusted. And anytime she says something that isn't pro-black, they will still use it against her by getting black people to criticize her for not doing enough. So when she sat down with the group in Philadelphia to take questions from black journalists, she didn't say everything that some black people wanted her to say. But she said almost everything she could.
I know that people are deeply troubled by what is happening to that community in Springfield, Ohio. And it's got to stop.
She described Trump's rhetoric as
it's a crying shame.
A response based more on empathy than anger. But she did not specifically endorse a policy of reparations for slavery. Although she supported legislation to study reparations when she was a senator in California, she spoke in broader terms today as the Democratic presidential nominee, mentioning slavery, redlining, and Jim Crow laws. She spoke about student loan debt, medical debt, bias in home appraisals, and black maternal mortality. I support reparations, and I've written about it in my two most recent books. But believe it or not, Kamala Harris gave the right answer. Her job is to get elected in a country where most Americans oppose reparations. Although 77% of black Americans support reparations, only 18% of white Americans do.
Enough said. If y'all want to check that out, go check out Keith Boykin. Yeah, he knows his stuff. Yeah, back to the episode. I think we need a little music. How about that? A little music. Y'all already know. Little Styles P. Shout out LOX for getting away from Diddy. They knew early on to get away from Diddy.
Girl having me, she was 12 years old. That's the state why
brother?
Well, I just came here to make me a little withdrawal. I'm in the money.
Wait, Jerome, can we talk to you for a second?
Well, y'all need to ride with me?
Yeah.
Y'all ain't out here tricking, is you?
Tricking?
You selling that thing?
I'm not selling that. No. Jerome, you know what? I'm a little short of cash right now. So do you think that I could borrow $600?
Whoa, wait a minute, though, Redbone. You don't really know me like that.
Oh, come